In 2019, they were 1-9. In a pandemic-shortened 2020, they were 6-1. In 2021, they'll be starting new journeys, leading new teams into what everyone hopes will be a normal football season. Coach Schwarzer is heading into his first season as leader of the Northview Titans in Johns Creek. Less than 15 miles away, Bob Swank is preparing for his first season as head coach of the Chamblee Bulldogs. Swank and Schwarzer go back decades to 1996 and 1997, where they were both members of the Methodist Monarchs football program. Bob was an assistant coach, and Scott was playing quarterback. Many years later, they would find themselves on the same sideline again. Coach Swank was the head coach of the Duluth Wildcats, employing Schwarzer as his offensive coordinator. After 4 seasons of gradual growth, the two continued working together as a head coach and coordinator tandem. This time, Coach Schwarzer was leading the Chamblee Bulldogs as head man, while Swank took control of the defense as coordinator. The 2021 season will see both coaches behind the wheel of their own programs, as Scott has been hired at Northview High School, an academic juggernaut in the northern part of Fulton County. The school has had moderate success on the football field in recent history, but following 2 losing seasons, the Titans community has found themselves in the market for change once again. Schwarzer has experience turning around metro area programs that might not have all the traditional bells and whistles that their region opponents might enjoy. But that's not always a roadblock. Especially not if you see roadblocks from the perspective of a road worker. You see, road work to us is a nuisance. It slows down our trip and forces drivers to improvise their daily commute, one that can be muscle memory. But to Schwarzer, road work is a sign of growth. It means something new is coming, something that can be better with the right work put in. The summer of 2021 for the Northview Titans is a summer of construction, building Titan culture, Titan work ethic, and Titan pride. Some of these players will experience varsity action years before they're ready to handle it. But all hands on deck leads to more battle-tested hands in the following season, and even more the next. It's what Coach Schwarzer has been doing since his years as a head coach in North Carolina and Savannah. The Titans will be ready. It might not translate to a high-scoring win in Week 1 or throughout this season, but rest assured the Titans will be ready to go when the ball is spotted. How can one be so sure? We can look at any of Schwarzer's former schools and see growth. One of the most recent turnarounds? Chamblee. Bob Swank was hired as head coach of the Chamblee Bulldogs not long after the position came open following the departure of Schwarzer. The Bulldogs used to be one of those teams that you'd have to look out for, but recent changes to the high school football landscape in Georgia have made Chamblee a perpetual work in progress. And in terms of Georgia high school football, a work in progress just means you've been trending in the right direction without getting over the hump. But Swank and Schwarzer got over that hump in 2020. Coach Swank is looking to use the 2021 summer to stay over the hump. Remember how we were talking about freshmen and sophomores getting varsity playing time well before they're ready to perform consistently? The benefit of that is in their junior and senior years, you have battle-ready upperclassmen. It's these juniors and seniors that Swank hopes to continue to grow as football players in the Chamblee program. Unlike the situation in Northview, Swank has familiarity with the Chamblee program. The players know what to expect, and the community knows who they're getting as a leader. It's this familiarity that brings lofty expectations for the Bulldogs. But what will a successful season look like? For a team that hasn't made the playoffs in a few years, postseason or bust might be the mindset for the Northern DeKalb school. But that's not all that success can look like in a school like Chamblee. Are the players maintaining their academics? Are they involved, making a positive impact in their community? Will there be important games being played at North DeKalb Stadium at the end of the year? During the 2018 season at Duluth, Coach Swank had led the Wildcats into high-stakes, playoff-deciding games in the final 4 weeks of the season, something that hasn't been the case in the previous seasons but has become the norm since. This season will set the stage for the future of these two programs. If they're ever to find themselves sharing the field on a fall Friday night, the fans in attendance would see future doctors, lawyers, CEOs, managers, pro athletes, scholars, and teachers. That's a credit to the rigorous academics that both Chamblee and Northview like to brag about. It's also a credit to the type of programs fostered by these two coaches. Boys enter as rising freshmen, wide-eyed and unfamiliar with the game of football. In 4 short years, they'll leave as young men, prepared to face the world, confidently and courageously. After all, that is what high school football provides.